Okay, we're officially on the road for the 24 season, so we thought it's time to take us for a tour through our off-grid moto van. The van itself, to starters, we've got a Renault Master extra long wheelbase 2021 model. So when we started the build, Michaela and I did the divider wall and the bed, and we got the finishing touches from Van Builders Gold Coast, Rod and the guys there. Now we basically feel like we've got a mini home on wheels. We're pumped with the setup, so we're going to start in the front here and run you through. Alright, so in the front, this is our living, kitchen, dining, sleeping area. Basically, obviously, small space, it's all in one. But as you come up in here, so you can straight away, what you notice is we've gone away from the dark, confined sort of moto van look, where it's, you know, dark colours, carpet. We've gone for more of a homely look, try to really brighten it up. We do live in this, like during season, this is basically our second home, so we wanted it to feel homely when we come in here and we can pull up at epic spots like where we are today. We feel like we're just hanging out at home. We're not in some like garage. As soon as you walk in the van, first thing you see is the kitchen. So this van, one thing we definitely wanted was running water in the front, which we didn't have in the last van. So we went with the bigger style sink, and it's perfect. We're so glad that we went with the bigger one. We can wash up like fairly normal. So we've opted to just go cold water set up in the front. Just simply a space reason. So to have a big gas bottle and the setup that you have to have around that eliminates a fair bit of storage space for us. So anytime we need hot water for washing up or whatever, we've got a little gas burner. We just sit a kettle on top of that, boil it, throw it in the sink. It's super simple. And then yeah, that's just anything we need to wash up. It's basically nice and simple that way. We did decide to not go with the countertop stove, just simply, again, space plus the amount of power that those things, the inducted cooktops take. You need a generator basically to run them. So again, we're trying to be off-grid. So we've simply got a little gas burner that just stores here under this seat. Simple little pull out. We've got the gas burner here that can just sit up on top of the bench nice and easy with enough space here to still work in front of it. We've got a window in behind there to air it out, plus obviously we can open up this door here. Next to the sink, a cool bit of storage here for Michaela's clothes. It was hard to try to find space for hanging, so here it's able to be tucked away. It's surprising how much stuff she can actually fit in there. And then underneath the clothes cabinet, we've got a little pull-out drawer just for canned goods and the other little stuff that we can keep stored in there. Directly under there, we've got our bin, pretty self-explanatory. So then conveniently, right in the middle here, we've got the Bushman's 85 litre fridge. We're on the U-Foods train at the moment, so we've got a bunch of U-Foods in there and everything else that you need. We did decide to go with the Bushman's. It's a little bit more expensive than a lot of other brands comparably, but from everyone we spoke to, it's just 100% the way to go. Like being a van that bounces around a lot, you want something that's going to last, and from all the reviews, Bushman's is the go. Along the side here, obviously we've got a heap more storage, just a bunch of drawers here, pull-out drawers. So this one we call our junk drawer, just a bit of everyday use stuff. And then from there we got a cutlery drawer, toaster, bottled water. So we do have a big water tank, but I use it for washing the bikes and stuff like that, and it also connects to our front tank here. So we don't actually have a drinking one, which occasionally we'll fill up out of fire hoses and different stuff, which we try not to ever fill up from something that specifically says no drinking. But at the same time, I just don't trust it. I'm a bit fussy with that sort of stuff. So we do drink bottled water on the road. And then to finish up the kitchen, we've got our pantry here above the sink. We've got unbreakable cups, bowls, and plates. Just obviously we're bouncing around. We don't want anything to break. We cook everything from this one saucepan and a little pop-up pot here. Obviously, again, space in a van is key. And that's a kitchen all wrapped up. So from there, we'll move into the dining area. So here we've got a two-seater couch, and then on the other side of me here, just a little single-seater, and a table in the middle. Obviously, we can have dinner, sit across from each other, have a friend in here, whatever. This table is designed to be removed. Also, it's a swivel table, so we can move it around. However, the whole time that we've had it, we honestly haven't taken it off one time. Just seems like more of an inconvenience to move it in and out the whole time. So we've just left that, and it hasn't bothered us at all. So behind here, originally these little storage cabinets here were designed to store the table. But since we don't do that, we use it, so we've got some blankets and other little things stored in this one here, and then we go around behind the two-seater, and we've got jumpers. We are heading down south, so it's going to get cold. We need storage for jumpers, and it's a perfect little spot for that. So our previous van had a fixed bed, and it was a double bed, so come out to about here, and basically made it super hard to use that space in underneath it. So big thing for us when we were designing this van, we really wanted a bed that's somehow stored away. So I've got to give a shout out to Michaela for this one. She actually come up with the idea of a slide out bed, which is exactly what we've got here. So it simply slides out here to a full-size double bed, and then we sleep sideways along the van. We both fit in there easy enough. Again, it's storage, and then simple, just slide it back in and it slides up to a single bed. So if we're hanging out, someone can chill up there, but whenever we're sleeping, obviously super simple setup. Mattress folds over. We can make this bed in a couple minutes tops. So when we built in the walls, we made sure with the design to allow it to go all the way to the edge of the van. So majority of vans that you'll see is you do have this here where it's not recessed and you've got your insulation and everything under there. We essentially eliminated that just to try to get that little bit, that extra 10 centimeters each side of the van. And Michaela's a tiny bit taller than me, so she touches, I think, a little bit both sides. I can fit basically perfect alongside the van. And then above our feet when we're sleeping, we've got this cabinet here. So I've turned it into a charging station. So essentially we've got a heap of USB ports, everything we need to be able to charge and store our cameras, drone, GoPro, laptops, phones, in tucked, nice, neat, out of the way. I'm a pretty tidy person. I hate clutter. So to try to store, as everyone knows, cords with all the devices and stuff, there's cords everywhere. To have it all tucked up out of the way there just like makes me feel good. And final few things to touch on in the front here. So above our heads where we drive in the van is where we keep majority of our clothes. Nice neat little bit of use of space. We keep everything in these little woven baskets just to make it nice and easy to pull in and out. So that's the top, and then right down the bottom here, we store shoes in this little hidden cabinet. Basically jam them all up in there, keeps them nice and tidy. Again, using every little bit of space that we can. Super cool little part that we really wanted to be able to do if it was raining or we're stealth parking, whatever it is. Rod and the crew put in this awesome little arch, so we can access this from the front or the back. Just simply pull it out, climb on through. Either way, works unreal. And another thing that helps with is being able to completely close off this space here to where we can completely take advantage of our aircon. We do live in Australia. We live in Queensland, Australia, so it's super hot climate. So an aircon is essential to our space. I definitely need it to be able to sleep. It cools down the area perfect. The aircon we went with is an RTX 2000. So it's a 12 volt aircon. And our whole goal was we really wanted to be completely off grid with the van, so we can pull up anywhere, anytime, and not have to rely on pulling out a noisy generator or plugging into power. So being 12 volt, we can run this directly off our battery system. For us, pretty basic battery system we've got set up here. So underneath our middle seat in the front is we've just got a little battery box with two 100 amp hour batteries. That basically powers our entire setup here, is just those two 100 amp hour batteries. And then up on top to charge those batteries, we have 600 watt of solar, which is a lot for most vans. Like you won't typically see so much, but I really wanted to make sure power wasn't an issue, because there's nothing worse than your fridge going flat or whatever, having an issue like that. And then a new addition for us is this 2100 watt inverter that we've just fitted up in the front. And that's basically to power anything that draws a lot more than the 12 volt system can do. So we've got a microwave, plus we've got our toaster, again draws a lot of power. And then also just even to charge anything on AC power. So our laptop chargers, stuff like that, we can just plug straight into our little AC point here underneath. Just plug straight in there. All we have to do is push this little red button and we're good to go. And that's the front. So now we head to the back, more to my domain, and we open up the garage. And this is why we went with the biggest model we could find, is because we got all that living, plus obviously it feels like we've got a full garage in here too. So for our shower setup, we've got a hot tap. All you need is some batteries and gas and you're good to go. Michaela and I have been middle of winter in Victoria and been able to set it up and actually still been pretty comfortable. The thing works a treat. It's a bit of a home job, but it is secure and it works, so we're happy with it the way it is. So for the walls, we've just used the standard pine that comes in the van and just gave it a quick hit of black paint just to try to make it look a little bit prettier. We do have some lights set up in the back here too, just on this switch, just for any time we need to be in here at night or packing the van or whatnot. We bought thin rubber matting from Bunnings and it's actually worn pretty awesome, considering like we just sort of first thing we saw threw in there. It's been in here the whole time we've had the van and it's held up sweet. One of the major things though is we wanted to take advantage of space and the height of this van. So we added shelves up the top of the van. In the top one here, I've got Kita products, goals case, tent pegs, clutches, umbrellas, gear, grips, zip ties, bolts, chains, sprockets, levers, all of the spare stuff you might need, engine oil, filters, helmets. For the rest of the space, we've essentially just used the edges of the van as much as we could. So here we've got tables. This side I've got a rear wheel and the other side I've got my front wheel, my MXstore gazebo, Ballards floor mat, MXstore flags, and then just like any moto van, we're basically just throwing the rest on the floor. And right at the front there, we have the gurney. I like to keep everything clean, like I've mentioned, so I wash my bike at the track each time. We've got the pump there set up, so I can simply unplug the hot tap, plug that straight into the gurney, and I can wash the bikes at the track. And that's essentially the garage. So that's a wrap on our full moto van tour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know we're super pumped with this setup. This is the 4th van that we've had. So massive shout out again to Rod at Van Builders for helping us create this epic little moto van. It's super cool to finish the races, finish a big day's riding, whatever, come here, feel like we can pull up at any location and just be chilling at home basically. So that's a wrap on that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought. If you do need some van work, hit up Rod. He's a legend over there and we've got about 17 hours to the next race, so we better jump in and go.